Here we are again. As I'm recording this, the ground outside is covered in a second day of snow. Suddenly, it feels as if we can anticipate the beginning of Advent and the joys of the Christmas season. It's a time of new beginnings with all of the joy and the challenges that come with them. This past year, we've accomplished a lot as a congregation. In our sanctuary, we have learned more about how to use our new AV system and persevered through the challenges. We owe our tech team great thanks, and thanks to everyone in our congregation who has shown patience and good humor as we've worked through. We've also had our choir return and been able to celebrate the shift from virtual choir anthems and virtual choir practices to in-person weekly leadership. Being in person once again has opened the doors to new musical opportunities, such as a collaboration like our joint Carols by Candlelight service coming up in December, on December 4th and 11th, joint choirs with Leaside and North Lee United Churches. Our choirs combine musical leadership, community, and caring support for one another. Thank you to our choirs, to our leads, and to our music director, Matt. This fall, we've just recently hired our new children's and families leader, Paul. And while we've not yet become completely overrun with children on a Sunday morning, we have had children return in a higher number than we had anticipated, given how big of a gap between our in-person programs we've had. We owe thanks to our hiring team, which has supported the transitions in our children's program over the last 2 years. Our pastoral care team continues to provide meaningful pastoral care. This year, we've had a higher number of memorials and graveside services, and some families have waited until a time they could gather a larger group together in person. Jean Marie, our pastoral care minister, along with a small team of volunteers, led a grief support group last winter and early spring. And they are planning another one, which will be starting in January. Our Meet You group has also continued to meet online and in person, including our ice cream social last June with about 50 people there eating ice cream. Something nice to think about and perhaps anticipate again for next June as we appreciate the beauty of the snow on the ground right now. Thank you to the grief support team, the Meet You team, and the whole pastoral care committee for your caring work. Our outreach work has continued to be very busy. We had outdoors and indoors awesome sales in 2022 that were extremely successful. The Community Care Fund has continued to raise thousands of dollars that have been redirected to organizations that address local food security with the careful consideration and research of the Outreach Committee. There have been fun and tasty El Hogar fundraisers. We've gathered calendars and other items for the Roehampton shelter. Our refugee committee is actively supporting more than one family in the refugee process and has recently begun a pilot project to redirect household items to refugee families that could use them. Items such as things for the kitchen, linens, and children's toys. And I haven't even mentioned all of the outreach and congregation supports that are going on besides the ones that I've named. Thank you to all our dedicated volunteers for your work to make our world a better place for others. And I also haven't mentioned so many other staff and volunteers in our congregation. The communication work so others know what is happening with our church. Our custodians and office staff who keep our building running for our congregation and for our rental groups. Our Arts and Walls team, the Flowers team, and the Chancel Committee, they're paying attention to how to make our church building a beautiful as well as a functional space. And to all of our other volunteers who are supporting our ministry and our abundant hospitality. Thank you. Thank you. I think this is an exciting time. New things are happening. We're not just getting by, but we're imagining how we can reach out and care for people in new ways that are creative, meaningful, and fit our economic and volunteer capabilities. As you pledge time, talents, and treasures for the year ahead, there is much to support and much to celebrate.